Okay, good afternoon, traders. Good afternoon. This is me trying to re-record the Monday market update because we had some tech problems there. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but I just basically reset everything and we go again. Here we are. Paul's Monday market update, number 216 for Monday, 2nd of March, 2026. I hope you're well. I hope wherever you're joining us, or wherever you're listening to us, I hope you're safe. It has been a rather an eventful weekend, hasn't it? Those of you listening to us for the first time, the Monday market update is just that. It is me flying through as much as I can fit in half an hour, covering strength and weakness within FX markets, looking at indices markets, commodities markets, looking at a few charts of interest. And then having a look at the live markets. It's not a signal service. It's not a trade recommendation service. It's just me sharing with you what I'm looking at the moment. As always, you are very welcome here, but just remember that you are responsible for your own trading decisions. And if you want a bit more help and support in your trading, you can join the VTP tag group, the trader accountability group. Doesn't really matter what you trade or how you trade. It's all about building discipline, accountability, and consistency in your trading business. You can ping me if you've got questions, or that QR code will take you there. As I said, didn't want to go all defense. So here we got Goldman Sachs. Right. Why am I interested in these, Paul? Well, what's of relevance? Well, listen, you can see that that is a glorious trend, or has been, hasn't it, for the last few years? And this is what I tell you traders, all right? Markets don't trend as often as we'd like. So when they are in a good trend, you don't fight it. You find a way to ride it, okay? You find a way to try and work with it, okay? And, Goldman Sachs is none the different. However, I'm starting to get interested because, we peaked up here, we pulled away from the averages. And then in the weekly charts, we're getting, sort of lower highs. And then last week, we closed beneath the 20 period moving average. Now, listen, one swallow doesn't make a summer, but if you look at that, the 20 period moving average, the area of it, apart from the sort of tariff tirades, other than that, the 20 period moving average over the years has acted as pretty good dynamic support. All right, pretty good dynamic support there. Okay. And so closing beneath it, is starts to get me interested. And then we've also had some kind of issues with, not only do we have volatility and a bit of macro uncertainty, which can have an impact on Goldman's, but what we're starting to see, and certainly reflect in the UK and globally, is that we start to get kind of stress within the sort of private credit markets. And what we saw, I think it was in the UK, we saw a company MFS sort of kind of implode. I think they've lost about 900 odd million quid. Once again, if you have the exact details, please, by all means, feel free to update me. Okay, I'm just looking at what impact it has on those markets. But what you can see there is Market Financial Solutions. They were a kind of a private credit company, property-backed lender, and it would appear that some of their loans were dodgy, so they kind of overstayed collateral. They kind of duplicated it somewhere, or it wasn't risk wasn't properly controlled, and then invariably when investors kind of looked closer, the kind of confidence collapsed, funding pulled, the kind of house of cards and all ports, it all falls away, and so then you start to look at, well, actually, who are the counterparties? Who else has been exposed to this? And Goldman Sachs are apparently, an element of exposure to it. Okay, and so what we'll want to see is if overall credit spreads they start to widen materially, well then, I think Goldman Sachs continues to trade lower, all right, until the sort of fundamentals are fully assessed. So I'm kind of intrigued on that. I'm just going to watch to see how that particularly plays out. But Goldman's, they're holding up. It's still not the end of an uptrend, but I'm just, as I said, I'm just going to be curious to see how this plays out this week.